what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Integra Project Part 4. For those of you who haven't seen episodes 1 through 3, this is my 1996 Acura Integra Project Car that I picked up for $2,800 back in November of 2022. It's 2024 now, but these are videos that I've recorded and I'm finally getting around to editing and posting them. I'm sick today, so you'll have to excuse the sound, but today was full. We got a ton done in this video. So stay tuned, let me know if you have any suggestions for future things I should do to the car, and enjoy the video. I just got the rest of my stuff in for the car. These are the trailing arm camber arms to replace. I have upper camber arms for the rear, and then I actually have the rear trailing arm bushing to replace. I just stuck those in the freezer. I'm gonna be putting those on the car shortly, and I bought a bearing kit, or a bearing tool to push out the old one. So it looks like it's gonna rain soon. I wanna go stick up the car in some jack stands and see if I can get it ready while the bearings cool off, and hopefully compress so I can push them in easier. So we actually end up doing everything today. Trailing arm bushings, upper camber arms, lower camber arms, front lower control arms, sway bar, everything. It's a lot. But getting started, we unbolted the tire and then started unbolting the trailing arm bushings to see what we were dealing with. Looks like I have just a few bolts preventing me from taking this rear trailing arm off. Replacing this bushing is torn to bits in there. Current one's in the freezer. So what I need to do is PB blast the parts of the car where the bolts are on, because I imagine that this has never been replaced. So we're looking at bolt number 1, bolt number 2. I went ahead and detached that bolt slightly back in. So that's for the trailing arm bushing, and then the rear showing toe arm or camber arm or whatever it is. It's got one bolt here and one bolt there. No idea how tight that's gonna be. We'll let that sit for a while. Hopefully those will loosen up. I don't think we need to loosen anything else. Maybe I can go ahead and spray this because I'm replacing this too. I know this isn't good for the bushings, but I'm replacing them, so it doesn't really matter. Probably go ahead and do this to the other side. Well, this sucks. All right. The rain has subsided. The ground's wet. I'm gonna use this pizza box. I'm gonna try to remove those components I'm replacing. So the goal today is to get the trailing arm bushing out, this upper camber arm, and then the rear trailing toe arm out, and all swapped out to the new ones. I believe there's 5 bolts in the back that need to be undone. 2 are for the toe arm, 2 are for the camber arm, and then I think 1 was for the brake line. Once again, started raining, so I gotta pack everything back up. Got it loose. I'm gonna have to take that off and maybe take the sway bar off. I'm not sure, but I know if I take this off, I should have enough wiggle room to pull that down. It's gonna be hard to get back on. Whatever. It should give me enough room to press this bearing out. I gotta figure out where it lines up first. Things just shot, man. So we're close, really close, which is exciting. This is where I have to stop for the day. Apparently we have a flash flood warning. I broke this bolt loose so I could pivot this hub. Stuck a stick in there to prevent it from putting all the strain on this and the bushings that are all tight. I was able to get that loose. I'm gonna have to press it out tomorrow. Got that off. Shouldn't be too hard from here. I don't know how hard it's gonna be to press, especially laying down, but I can't do this in the rain. So it's all for me today. Oh, that's a sad little car. It was right across there. There's no rain. It's dry. I'm honestly kind of excited to see how this tool works. It's a little tricky though, because I know you're only supposed to push this out the way you push it in, which would be this way, but I don't really have the ability to do that without taking it off. But oh shoot. Well, I mean, I guess that'd be pretty easy to take off. I don't know, man. Do I take it off? All right. So this tool, picked it up on Amazon for 80 bucks. Granted, it's got a ton of corrosion on it, which sucks, but it was 80 bucks, so I'm not really gonna complain. All right, so let me try to see if I can figure this out. Maybe I go ahead and remove this, yeah, that's not working at all. I'll take that out afterwards, I guess. These are the struggles that we go through trying to fix our cars. I bet you if we loosen this, we'll be able to pull this brake line out. Not all the way, but get it enough out of the way to work on. Maybe we'll call it there. I got quite a bit of flexibility now. Come on. Not right now. No, it's a good rain too. Freaking, you know what? Fortunately, the rain decided to stop. So, I got it locked on. It took another 10 minutes of fiddling with it, but it's locked on enough to start turning. Maybe I'll mark the depth. Get under here and see if I can twist this puppy up. Good gosh. Dang. Holy crap, that's hard. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Oh no. Are we out? Yeah, let's go. Man, getting these things out sucks. There we are. You can clearly see how far it was pushed in before. Should probably mark that before that dries up. Check that out. That was my bearing. No wonder it felt so floaty in the end. I need to have the top of that thing connected, man. That's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. All right, time to finish removing the so I think it's a tow arm, rear tow arm. Get that off and then work on cleaning up that hole. Oh shoot, I hope that's not. Okay, I was like, if that's stuck in there, I'm screwed. I decided to stop being stubborn and just looked up. What is this lighting, my guy? I just looked up how to install it, and I think I removed it backwards. Everything I see, they push it from the other side that I pushed it. So maybe that's why it was so difficult, or maybe it's the fact that they've never ever been replaced. So I've cleaned off that hole with just a rag. Went ahead and removed the rear, I believe it's a tow arm, which wasn't too hard. I'm gonna have to clean up this bolt though, because it's kind of nasty. So now I need to go grab my new trailing arm bushing. Problem is I'm gonna have to put it in pretty quick because they're in the freezer. Did that so it'd be easier to install. So I marked it with Sharpie, and the Sharpie came off of the car. You know, whoops. I ended up putting the old bushing back in to try to realign it and remark it, so I had some sort of reference to go off of. Man, this is hard to do by yourself, man. That's the right angle, that's the right, all of it. And now I just gotta get the tool on there. That's gonna be scary. Oh, we got it, all right. Get this piece over. That's loosening it, no. Oh, my bearing came out. My bearing came out, no. Oh, If you plan to do this job, I would recommend having a friend. It probably would have saved me half an hour to an hour of messing with this. Dude, it stopped recording. Did I record any of this? I did successfully get the bearing back in with another 10 minutes of cranking and twisting, and I finally got it in. So then I moved on to the toe and camber arms. Those were the two True Heart units I got that I showed you at the beginning of the video. And they took a minute. This is 500x speed, but they're not terribly hard. If you have to do toe arms and camber arms, you can totally do that by yourself. It's just the trailing arm bushing that makes it really hard. With some bad news here. Trying to install these upper camber arms. The holes, the bolts don't bolt them down all the way. There were these spacers in before. I thought they were to just do like a cheap way to add camber, but I think they were actually for the bolts so they would fit. Problem is, I can't find the last one. Also, the car does not line up. I have to jack up the suspension and everything just to get things in. And I don't feel like that's supposed to happen. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be that difficult to line things up. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't find this other arm to save my life. And then there's that bolt, which I don't even know where that goes, which is really bad. Where did that come from? I'll find it. Anyways, that's in, but those don't line up. I'm having to retap these holes. The bolts were stripped when I put them in. I didn't realize it, and it messed up the threads real bad. So I have to retap both of these holes and the bolts before I can put this back together. I also realized this goes in last. That goes in first. The other side should go a lot faster now that I know that. So yeah, I was a little bit defeated at this point. I did end up finding all the spacers and where all the bolts went, and then I moved on to the other side. But the other side was a lot easier because I knew what I was doing the first time. Just want to show you how intense this is. Break loose. Think about the final couple twists. It's gonna be a big pop. 2. There we go. Good gosh, man. I should have pushed it through the other way. I knew that would be easier, but I didn't for some reason. I think it's because of all those YouTube videos I watched. This bushing, same deal. Not as bad as the other side, but I mean the other side. I bet you if I took it, probably push it straight through. Yep. Old rubber, man. So this time I learned from my mistakes. Doing it by myself was extremely difficult on the other side, so I had my sister help me with this, and it went way, way faster. Instead of fiddling with it for half an hour, it was literally lock it on and get it off. This video is sped up like 700% speed. So you do the tilt arm after you get the bushing pushed in, then you do the trailing arm or the camber arm up top. I just went back and forth between the two, tightening everything up as necessary. And then you have to jack the wheel up. Don't forget to put tension back on everything before you tighten it down. So that means jacking up the wheel with a jack stand as if you were not jacked up at all, and then tighten your bushings down. That way they don't tear or rip. So I did that and finished up. Wow. I do look like a hobo. Well, if it feels tighter, I can already tell you it's tighter. That is so badly aligned. Alright, so it's stiffer in the back, but it's so misaligned that it feels like my wheels in the back are like this, and the front is like this. It's bad. 1 out of 10. Well, after fixing the back, it raised it up pretty significantly, and now it looks like a Hot Wheels car. It doesn't look nearly as aggressive or sporty. It looks like a Hot Wheels car. So you can see that. See how high that is? While I'm out here, the sun is out and we have blue skies finally. I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up. But that did make the back way more solid than it used to be. Nice to be able to see that. But it needs an alignment like majorly. So the last thing I have to do on it, I already installed one of the, what do you call it? Tie rods. I installed one of the outer tie rods on. I have inner tie rods to install. I'm not going to worry about it because I think they're fine. And then I have spherical bushing front control arms to install. I don't know how hard they're going to be. I don't imagine they'll be that hard. The back was pretty straightforward. I know there's a little bit more going on in the front, but I'm going to jack it up and see what I can do. By comparison, the front lower control arms are a lot easier than the rear lower control arms. The rear lower control arms only have 3 bolts, but the front ones have 5. As you'll see in a second. But they're just, I don't know, it's easier to work around, it's easier to access, you don't have a trailing arm in the way, you just have the rotor itself, and it's a lot easier to get torque on these bolts because you just have more flexibility with where you can put your tools. If I had power tools, it would have made this a lot easier, but then again, it wasn't that hard. It took maybe 30 minutes in total to get both sides done. This is the new control arm going in. It's a lot shinier and a lot tighter than the old one. Granted, the old one didn't look bad. The bushings were a little bit worn out, but this is a spherical control arm bushing, meaning it's metal on metal. Think of a skateboard bearing. That's kind of how these work. So they're a lot tighter. You're going to feel a lot more of the bumps. Every little nook and cranny in the road is going to feel tight. But it also means at very high speeds, you're going to feel more stable and you're going to feel like you have more precision in your steering. And that was true because I've been, like 100, 120 miles an hour in this car, and it feels very good at those speeds. She's all done. It's got new front lower control arms, new front outer tie rods, rear toe arms, rear camber arms, rear lower control arms, rear trailing arm bushings. Got new brakes, new rotors, vented and slotted. It's going to have new rims, new tires. It's got a new master slave. I sound so tired. The point is, a lot of stuff has been done. It still needs a new exhaust, it needs the driver's side door put on, the rear bumper put on, and a couple other fine-tuning things to make this car really set. It could also use coilovers, which make it perform a lot better. And then we haven't even begun to dig into the real motor work. There's still a lot that can be done on this car, but this is a very, very good start and setup. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, suggestions, anything, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you guys and see what you think about the car so far, what I should do next. We're still in 2023 at this point, and I've done a couple things since, which videos are going to continue to come out on until we're all caught up to present day. Speaking of which, this is the last time you'll see the car with these rims and tires on it, because next episode we're getting the rims and tires on, we're doing custom camber, and then we're taking it on a road trip to Virginia to see how it performs and if anything breaks. Here's all the old stuff that I replaced today. Let me just say, these rims make this car look so good.